Hello, friends from Five Reasons. This is Alejandro Villegas back again with you guys. And today in our 305 Live, we're finally going to talk about soccer, not NBA, not the Miami Heat, not the Dolphins. We're kind of tired of it. No more Super Bowl in Miami. It's time for real football here in South Florida. So, for that, we have Austin Robillard. He's going to be talking to us about each one of the players that the Inter Miami, this new Inter Miami, the new guys in town, are going to be having in their roster to start their first season in the Major League Soccer in March 14th against the LA Galaxy. That will be the first game. So, welcome, Austin. Thank you for coming to our 305 Live. Austin's part of our team here in Five Reasons. He's going to be covering the team. Obviously, he's been writing about the team all these days already. We have to remember they're already practicing. They're already getting ready for the next season. So welcome Austin, and welcome soccer, welcome football to Miami.
Finally, man. I'm very excited for the season. I'll be showing my face out in LA on March 1st for the first game, and then back in DC March 7th for the second game, and we'll finally have the home game March 14th against the Galaxy. So yeah, it's fine. I'm glad we finally got it. Hopefully they get that stadium ready.
Well, that will be one of the topics, but don't get too ahead of yourself, because that's the negative topic of the Miami. Let's leave that to the end. Let's talk about the players, because that's the main thing. Like who we're gonna see. We're still waiting for a superstar. We don't know who's gonna be, but we know it's coming. We just don't know who or when. But they're gonna come. I'm not worried about that part, especially having David Beckham. But what we're gonna do, Austin, is we're gonna go through the roster, because we are an expansion team, so we don't really know who these guys are. And if you're a follower of soccer or football here in Miami, you're probably used to watch Manchester United, like you have it in your shirt. You're probably used to watch Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, all those teams, but you're not really used to watch professional soccer here in the U.S., or maybe not even close to Miami. The closest one is in Orlando. So who are these guys? We're going to go through the roster, and you're going to be telling us who these guys are. Is he going to be a starter? Is he going to be a sub? Whatever they're going to be doing. All right? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. First, we're going to go with the keepers. Drake Callender, 22 years old, 6'3", 205. I'm talking about him like they're fighters. All right, Drake Callender.
So Drake Callender, we acquired him via trade. He's a homegrown player, so he came through the U.S. soccer program. I think he played for UCLA just recently, and he's coming in and he's training with us. He's homegrown, so he's young. I don't think he'll get a lot of play time this year with the other keepers that we have, but promising future for the guy. He's a young keeper that we'd love to have.
All right, John McCarthy, 27 years old, from Philadelphia.
So this guy has a lot more experience. Like you say, he's 27, from Philadelphia. He played with Tampa Bay Rowdies, I think, recently. And then when he was with Philly, he was on loan in Bethlehem. So he played a lot in the USL, had a lot of experience there. So he's still pretty big in the U.S. soccer, tree. So John McCarthy will probably be the number two option.
All right, third goalie in the roster, Luis Robles.
And this is the guy that people were excited to sign. I mean, I was, as an MLS fan, getting him from Red Bulls was big. I think he's been playing since 2012, and I think his record is he has the most consecutive starts for an MLS team in history.
So he's going to be a starter?
He's going to be the starter. Yeah, he will more than likely be the starter, unless something crazy is happening in training camp that we don't know about yet. He's most likely going to be a starter. He's got the most MLS experience. I think it was like 183 straight games from 2012 to 2018. So this guy knows what he's doing. He was by far one of the best keepers in MLS, and we're very lucky to have him.
Okay, so we're going to be starting a very experienced guy in our first season in the MLS. Okay, we're going to the defenders now. Let's turn the page, and we're going to Mike Ambrose.
Mikey Ambrose. He's a center back. He's probably not going to crack the starting 11 just because of the talent we've signed. I could see him as a rotational piece when it comes to U.S. Open Cup games and stuff like that, but with the center backs that we have that we'll get into, you'll see why.
Okay. AJ De La Garza from Maryland.
Yes. So he's a Guam international. He's got a lot of a lot of MLS experience too. I think he played for a bunch for LA Galaxy. He's a right back, but he'll be competing with two other pretty good defenders there. That one that we drafted and one that we got from Jamaica. So you'll hear about those.
All right, Nicolás Figal from Argentina.
And surprisingly, this is one of our biggest signings because of how good this guy is, and he's in the prime of his career. He came from Argentina, just like a couple other players. He's 25 years old, and I think that he's going to be the starting center back just because of his talent. He played a lot of games for his last club, so I think this is the starter. He's very strong, consistent, and he's only 25, which is big for us.
Okay, so he should be maybe the main piece in the defense from Inter Miami. Grant Lillard from Arizona.
I think that he's also going to get. He's one of those rotational pieces. He came up in the U.S. soccer triangle. I think he's only like 24, so he's still a younger guy, but he's got a lot of MLS experience too. He was just an MLS and USL guy, so I think you'll see him in the rotation, but not a starter.
Okay. Christian Macun. I don't know why they have him here as a defender, but all right. Christian Macun from Valencia in Venezuela.
Yeah, so they have him listed as a defender, but I know he's got a lot of experience playing. Not a lot because he's young, but he played as CDM a lot. He was with the Juve youth team, and then he had a lot of time in Venezuela as well. So I'm interested to see what they do with Macun because I think he could actually break the starting lineup because he's just so talented. Yeah. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think he'll be probably more of a midfielder, maybe
I think
going forward. But I don't know. They have him here as a defender. We're going through the roster, so that's why we're doing this. He's just 19, so he has a lot of future. Maybe he spent a couple of years here in MLS and trying to go back to Europe. Dylan Nealis, 21 years old too.
So this is the guy we drafted in the Super Draft with our third pick, or the third pick in the draft, our second pick. A lot of people were high on him. He actually captained the winners of the NCAA championship at right back. And he's someone that I would like to see start. I don't know if he will, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised because of how good he is and what he did for that Georgetown team to win the national title. I think that this man has a chance to break the starting lineup. And not a lot of people that come through the Super Draft do that. So it'll be interesting to see, but this guy's got a lot of talent.
Okay. Alvis Powell from St. Thomas in Jamaica.
So this is that third right back. This is the one that I'm sure Nealis is going to be competing with. Jamaican international, had a lot of MLS experience and a lot of national team caps with Jamaica. A lot of people are expecting him to start at right back, but I think that Nealis and De La Garza are probably going to give him a run for his money.
All right. Ben Sweat. That's a nice last name for a soccer player. Ben Sweat. All right. From Sweat. Palm Harbor in Florida.
Yes. So this is the Florida guy. I think he went to USF and he played a lot for NYCFC, but as he got a little old, he's not even too old now, but as he got a little older, I think they brought in another left back. I think he even captained NYCFC, but he lost his starting spot. And I mean, honestly, we'll take him right away. He's going to start at left back no matter what. I think this guy's talented, a lot of MLS experience, and you'll see him probably leading the line with Nico Figal.
All right. Roman Torres from Panama City in Panama, 33 years old. That's another experienced guy.
Yes, big time. Seattle was definitely upset to lose him, but I'm happy to gain him. I think that he might crack the starting lineup with Nico Figal. We'll have to see. But every time I think of Torres, I can't think about Torres without thinking about the goal he scored to knock USA out of the World Cup in 2016. But the man's he has a record for a reason. He's really good. And we are lucky to have a lot of MLS experience on this roster along with the youth. So,
all right, we'll ask him about it once we get here. Okay, last one in the defense, according to the website, Denso Ulisse. He's from Haiti.
Haiti, yeah. So I think he came through the USL. He's a younger guy, and I think he has had
with the Seattle Sounders USL Championship side. Tacoma Defiance.
Yes. So I don't know too much about him. He's Haitian international. I think he's got a couple caps with like the Haitian U23 team. But if he could develop, I would love to see it.
Okay, let's go to the midfield now. And the first one here is George Acosta from Miami to Miami, 20 years old. What do you have to say about him?
He's a center attacking mid, and I think that this position is really, really, really important. And as a young guy coming into an MLS team so quickly, even though he's from Miami, you'd love to see him start. I don't think it's going to happen just because of some of the talent we have and some that were rumored to sign. But George Acosta, it was a fun signing, obviously, because he's from Miami. So, yeah.
Okay. Luis Argudo from Queens, New York, 24 years old.
He's more of a I think he came from Columbus Crew. I'm not totally sure, but
I'll confirm in a second. Give me a second. Okay. He's coming from Columbus Crew.
Yeah,
he played there for 2 years.
2 years, yeah. It wasn't a long time, and he didn't have a lot of appearances. So I think that this is just another rotational piece that they brought in because just in case,
Of course. Okay, Jay Chapman from Toronto, Canada.
So yeah, this is a Canadian international. He had a lot of caps with, I think, FC Cincinnati. I'm not totally sure. I think he's been in the league since 2015. I think he played for Toronto, actually. 80 appearances.
Yes, he helped Toronto.
Yeah. So he played
in 2017 to be champions in 2017. He came to Miami in a trade. Yes, in November.
Yeah, he's a Canadian international too. He's had caps with the national team, and he's a guy would be a really solid piece in our midfield. Later we'll talk about the starting 11 and how Diego Alonso would line that up, but he could break the lineup.
All right, Lewis Morgan.
He's more of a winger. We just signed him recently, and I was very excited about this guy. He came from Celtic.
Why? Celtic in Scotland?
Yes, Celtic in Scotland. Yeah. So he's young. He's 23, and he is. I mean, once I knew that we were rumored to get him and stuff, I started looking him up. And honestly, when you watch him play, his confidence on the ball, you love to see it. I mean, this man's not afraid to dribble past any defender. He's not afraid to take a shot from outside 18 yards. Lewis Morgan is probably going to start for us just because of the talent that he has, and bringing that in even though he didn't play that much for Celtic, Celtic loved him because they knew his potential, and he got loaned out every now and then, but he scored goals when he was over there. And now that he's over here, I think he's absolutely going to shred MLS defenses.
Hopefully. All right. Lee, let me see, how do you pronounce this?
Win.
Lee Gwen? Just like
that?
Gwen?
Lee Win, yeah.
Okay, Lee Gwen. It's easier than what it's to read. Yeah. All right. Lee Gwen.
This guy is an MLS veteran. Everybody knows this guy if you follow the MLS. He just recently played with LAFC, who we played in the first game of our season. But this is a guy who's played for the national team as a cam, a center attacking mid, I should say. And I think that he will play cam for us to start off with if we don't sign someone that I'll talk about later. But it's interesting because with LAFC in the last 2 years, Bob Bradley, the coach over there, dropped his role and they made him more of like a CDM. I don't think that Diego Alonso is going to do that. I think they need his creativity and his experience at center attacking mid. And for the formation I think we're going to play, it'd be amazing to have Win making passes to the front four. And I don't think they'll take that creativity and put it in the bottom. I think we have enough CDMs in order to cover the back line. So I think he'll be playing number 10 for us if we don't sign someone. All
right. David Norman Jr. from Canada.
Yeah, another Canadian. I think he came through the Vancouver Youth Academy. So he definitely knows about the MLS. He's younger, and I think he's one of those rotational pieces you can see in the number 10 role.
Matias Pellegrini from Argentina, 19 years old.
This is our first and only signed designated player right now. He's young, and he is very good. He's probably going to play on the wing on the opposite side of Lewis Morgan to start off. Everyone's really excited about this guy. He's shown a lot of potential in his time in Argentina. So I think that this guy with Morgan on the other side is really going to scare MLS defenses. He's really good. He's quick, and he definitely has a shot on him.
Okay. Will Trapp.
This is a guy I think this is our most recent signing, or we traded for him for like $100,000 in GAM. So Will Trapp came from Columbus. He's a Columbus guy, and I feel bad that they lost him because Will Trapp is probably one of the best midfielders in the MLS. Columbus Crew really loved him, and every MLS fan really loved him, and so do U.S. men's national team fans. So he'll probably be playing CDM for us, or not probably. He will be in the 8 spot, playing in CDM. He's great, and a lot of our fans will love to remember how he scored like a 92nd minute 25-yard banger against our rivals Orlando City a couple of years ago. And Will Trapp he's a guy that we're going to love, and he's going to hold down the midfield.
Okay, Victor Ulloa from Mexico.
Yes, so the Mexican international Victor Ulloa, he's probably going to play alongside Will Trapp at CDM. He's got a lot of caps in the MLS, and he just recently came from FC Cincinnati. So he knows what it's like to play for an expansion team, being that FC Cincinnati was in their first year last year. So, I think that Victor Ulloa and Will Trapp are a really good midfield pairing.
Okay, now we're going to the forwards. We have 4 here in the roster. I will put Macun here with this group if I had the chance to fix this roster. Okay, Juan Agudelo, 27 years old.
Yes, 27 with a lot of experience, so he's still in the good prime of his career, and MLS fans will know Agudelo for his skillfulness and the way he loves to be creative on the ball, whether it be on the wings, up front, or in a number 10 role. He's really, really, really versatile when you play him just in the top third. So Agudelo will definitely be one of those like guys that are like a super sub to come on, fresh legs, and just run at the defense.
Okay, now Julian Carranza from Argentina, your second Argentinian.
Yes, so this is a guy we signed. I think he was our second signing right after Pellegrini. Also came from Argentina, and he's probably going to be our number 9. He's going to be our striker. Hopefully he gets better. I saw recently in a post on Instagram or something, and this is one of the players' stories, he had a cast on his left leg, so that's a little worrying. But he's only 19, and he's going to be our number 21. And the guy is going to be a stud. And him and Pellegrini and Morgan, those 3 up front could be deadly.
Okay, we have 2 more. And this guy is from Germany. And bear with me right now. His name is Jerome Kiesewetter. Is that how you say it?
Kiesewetter.
Oh, of course. It's German.
It's German.
Kiesewetter.
Kiesewetter. Yeah, so
say it again.
Kiesewetter.
Kiesewetter.
Yeah, so
I got it. Kiesewetter.
Jerome is a guy that I go back to about a couple months ago. I actually met him out in El Paso. I was covering El Paso Locomotive, and I met him out there, and I've been in contact with him. We've been talking, and he's really excited to be here. Jerome is a guy who came from the Bundesliga, and then he played for Dusseldorf for a couple of years. And then before going to El Paso, he had a little break where he couldn't find a team. El Paso hit him up, and he became the top goal scorer for that team. So if that doesn't show you what Jerome Kiesewetter can do, he's a great second option. If Carranza is out, I do think that you see Kiesewetter in that number 9 role up top. But even then, he's another one of those players that in his time in El Paso, he was out on the wing. Sometimes he was playing in the number 10 spot. He was up top. He could do so much. And even though he was injured for like 10 games for El Paso, at least he still was a top goal scorer. So if that doesn't tell you about Kiesewetter's talent, he's a great guy.
Okay, so he might be the starting if Carranza is injured in the first days. Robbie Robinson, who'll be the last one for now.
So he's the guy that we drafted with our first pick in the MLS Super Draft from Clemson, and he was named the top player in all of college soccer. So, he's going to give you goals if he gets on. He's very talented, and they were very high on him. Paul McDonough stated that they wanted to go for talent, and with his time in Atlanta and Orlando, when it came to the Super Draft, McDonough always took talent, and Robbie Robinson is a really talented kid, and we hope that, he can stay on the field. He had some injury history in his sophomore year at Clemson, I think. He missed the whole year, but when he came back, he was the best player in college soccer, so you just hope he can stay healthy and crack the lineup every now and then for us to bang in some goals.
All right. Okay. So we went through the entire roster for Inter Miami now, so you guys have an idea of who's going to be playing for Inter so far. And before we go to your starting 11, I want to ask you, who do you want to see as your other designated players? Who do you want to see here in Miami besides, of course, Messi and Cristiano and all that, Cavani, that David Silva or whoever was going to come? Who do you think is going to get here this year? Because we need somebody here to make a splash.
So this year, I really think it's not a name that everybody knows, but it's a name that people will come to know if we do get to sign him. His name is Rodolfo Pizarro. He's coming from Monterrey in Mexico, where Diego Alonso coached, and he has followed Diego Alonso his whole career. He's only 25, and he's probably the best number 10 in all of Mexican soccer. He's played with the national team for the last couple of years as a starting number 10. And he is a flary guy. He's really good. And this is what I'm saying. If he gets signed, he's cracking the starting lineup, I think, no matter what. And that front four will absolutely be something for people to worry about, even though our roster was supposed to have all these Messi, Ronaldo. It wasn't going to happen right away.
James. And then Falcao. Exactly. A lot of people wouldn't. No, that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen
Not
right
so
away.
far. Not so fast.
And it's tough because when you have the January transfer window, people aren't selling players then because they got to finish the year. So because MLS starts this time, it's a lot harder. And McDonough did say, our sporting director did say that he wants to get these DPs signed this window or before the season starts, because bringing in someone in the summer to ruin the whole entire chemistry of the team is probably not the best idea. So if we don't see anybody this year, I think you'll see more in 2021, but look out for Pizarro to sign with the team and be our starting number 10.
So Rodolfo Pizarro would be the name that you throw out there. All right, so let's hope him and somebody else, and because we have to attract people to the new stadium. We're going to be talking about the stadium in a little bit, but first, give me your starting 11 right now.
Okay, from the back, we'll go with Luis Robles. Luis Robles, we talked about him. He's the number one guy in goal. Just so many caps, and he's just so talented and experienced and consistent, and there's no other option, really. It'll be Luis Robles.
Okay, defenders, line of 3, 4. What would be
it'll be
your
4,
formation?
I think, just because I know Diego Alonso.
Okay.
I should tell you the formation is probably going to be a 4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1. Let me write it down, because once, if you get it right, we're gonna give you a prize.
Okay.
4-3-2-1. You said
4-2-3-1. So we'll have 4, and then we'll have 2 holding midfielders.
4-2-3-1.
Yep, and then we'll have a cam. We'll have 2 wide players and a striker.
Okay. So who are the 4 gonna be?
At left back, we'll have Vince Sweat.
Okay.
At center back, you're gonna have Nico Figal and Roman Torres, I think. Just talent-wise and consistency and experience. And then at right back, this is where I'm really, really, really not too sure. I really have a feeling Nealis could start after the draft, but I think it'll be Alvis Powell ultimately.
Powell
at right back, yeah.
Okay, Powell. Okay, so we have the 4 in the back. Who's going to be in the midfielders? So it's going to be
those 2 holding midfielders will likely be Will Trapp and Victor Ulloa.
Trapp. I'm writing it down. So
okay,
no problem. Let you check this time. All right. Trapp and Ulloa would be the 2 midfielders. Okay. Who are the 3 guys that are going to be creative and getting a lot of opportunities?
On the left, it'll be Pellegrini.
Okay, lost. Okay, say it again. Again.
Okay. On the left, it'll be Pellegrini.
On the left.
In the middle, if we don't sign Pizarro, you have to keep that in mind, because if we sign Pizarro's going in there.
Yeah.
But in the middle,
I'll keep him here in my heart.
Okay.
Pizarro.
It'll be Lee Win. It'll be Lee Win if we don't sign Pizarro. In the middle, and then on the right side
with the weird spelled last name.
Yeah, and then on the right side we'll have Lewis Morgan. And I think that those 2 guys could be interchangeable. So on the wing, they
can switch and go back and forth.
And
okay.
Then up top, barring the injury, will be Carranza.
Okay. Yep. If not, you said He's experienced guy, and if not, maybe Cavani.
I wish, man. I wish.
Okay, this is your starting 11. I'm gonna write it down here, and we'll save it until the first game of the season.
No problem.
And we'll give you another chance, because we don't know. Like, a lot of things happen in preseason. Yeah. Maybe new players, maybe somebody gets injured, maybe somebody plays better than somebody else there and just wins the spot there. So we'll give you another shot right before the season.
No problem.
But this is your first starting 11, so congratulations.
Yeah.
Your first starting 11 with Inter Miami. All right. Okay, the negative now. The stadium. We have to talk about the stadium. I'm sorry. Locker Stadium will be the home for the Inter Miami. Hopefully just the first couple seasons. And what's been going on? Tell us about it.
So this process has gone really, really, really fast, and I don't know if it's gone fast enough. It's going to cut it close. I think their deadline is sometime at the end of this month. Our first game, as everybody knows, is March 14th against LA Galaxy. They've already been selling season tickets. They've got the partial ticket plans, and they're just now putting the seats in the stadium. So you don't even really know where you're sitting or how you're sitting. And it's looking really nice, though. I mean, I can tell you that I drove by a couple times, took a couple pictures for 5 Reasons, stuff like that. But
man, okay, stop right there. We want to go.
Let's go.
Tell them to invite us, or you invite me. I want to go. Go check out the stadium.
Let's do it anytime, man. Let's
go.
Really
let's go. And right. so we can get videos, so people go, oh, look at this is stadium.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right,
of course,
okay.
Keep going. So they have the supporter stand, which is on the north side, and it's safe standing only. So they put in like foldable seats, but the incline is supposed to be at 34 degrees. So you are really going to be standing like this, and it's like the maximum or the minimum degree, they posted today that you can actually have an MLS stadium. So anybody who buys tickets in that section, be ready for all like the people from the Siege who I'm wearing now, Southern Legion and Vice City to go crazy with the drums and stand up the whole time. I think that our supporters groups are really going to back our team really well, and that'll be fun to see when the stadium comes along. But let's just hope they have it done. But when it comes to the stadium down in Miami, there have been some problems there. So
more than just problems, but yes.
So they found a spot. I think Beckham found a spot where he wanted to put it in. It's been in votes and stuff like that, and they haven't been able to get it passed. But even at the spot that they had, they found so much arsenic in the soil that there's no way they can put a stadium there. They have to go through. It would take years in order to get all of that arsenic and bad stuff, the bad soil, out of the ground to put in new stuff. So they said Lockhart was going to be here for 2 years, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's here for more than 2 years as the home of Inter Miami. It will be the home of the Academy kids and the Fort Lauderdale USL team that they just announced. So it might be home for Inter Miami for a little more than we think.
Hopefully not, because this is supposed to be Inter Miami, not Inter Fort Lauderdale. But that's fine. It's for the first couple of seasons, we can go with it. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's have a party. But then, hey, but you told me it's going to be in Miami. Hopefully they can figure it out and they can play in Miami sometime soon and get some people from Miami or from even more south to try to get to the game and watch and enjoy some soccer. Austin, what do you expect from this team in the first season? Let's give it 3 minutes, think about it, and go with it. All right.
So first season, oh man, there's a lot.
I know you're excited. Yeah, we're all because we all wanted soccer here, and that's the main thing. We're gonna have soccer, professional soccer here in March next month already.
Yeah,
I know we're all excited, but once that first phase of all right, we're all in love with the team. Kicks out of our system, what should we expect from the team?
I think that we should expect a team that's going to work hard and play hard just because of our coach, Diego Alonso. And I think that so many players have talked about the culture that he's built already, the winning mentality. When it comes to all the other MLS teams, it's going to be tough, I think, to compete. I think they will compete at a high level. And I do see us making a playoff run, winning the title. I hope. But I do at least the playoffs. And then when it comes to, which is something that not a lot of people talk about, is the U.S. Open Cup. If we win the U.S. Open Cup, which is a cup that, as in every league around the world, they have those cups. Like in the Premier League, they have the FA Cup and the EFL Cup. This is a cup that has to do with all the U.S. teams. MLS teams are involved in it. And if you do win the cup, you get a spot in the CONCACAF Champions League. So I think that that's probably going to be on McDonough's McDonough and Beckham's number one list, because they want to win something, this year, because they promised so much, and then they do get a qualification into the Champions League for next year. So that's a route that they could really focus on. But when it comes to the MLS, the actual league itself, I think you'll see us in the playoffs because the Eastern Conference, I think we'll be able to dominate it for a little bit. We've got a pretty good roster, and a lot of people are downing it just because there was just so much hype. But when you actually look at it and you break it down, we do have a good chance to make a playoff run. Title, that's a little ambitious, of course, but like I said, U.S. Open Cup and playoffs are probably the two main goals that we'll probably achieve.
Well, I was there in Atlanta in December of 2018 watching the Atlanta United winning the MLS Cup, and they have a similar story to us.
Yes, exactly. And it's the same sporting director who built Atlanta who's now with us. So you have to trust him.
So it took them 2 years, I think. The first one they made the playoffs. The second one they were already winning the championship. So there's a chance for Inter Miami if they keep doing the things the right way in the sporting side. Let's keep the stadium out of this equation. If they do the right thing, they can get far away in the playoffs. So hopefully that's what happens. Austin, how can people follow your work that you do for 5reasonsports.com, please?
So my Twitter is @ITSAROBI. It's Arobi, just put my first and last name together. But I post on 5 Reasons Sports. So you can check out 5reasonsports.com, all the soccer stuff. I'm probably the main guy for now, but when Inter comes, there will be a lot more content, and it's just been tough for now, obviously, because we've just been signing players and there's been no ball kicked at all. So When the season comes, I'll probably be traveling to a lot of games too. Like I said, I'm going to be out in LA. I'll be out in DC for the first 2 games, and then I'll be back home for here. And I've got the season tickets ready. So yeah, at It's a Roby on Twitter, Instagram, everything like that. And then all my work's on 5reasonsports.com.
All right. Thank you, Austin. And let's hope the Inter Miami comes and we all have fun with this. All right.
Yeah, man, it should be awesome.
All right. See you later. And we'll talk again soon because we have a lot of soccer to talk about. We're excited. We're going to have football here in Miami. And let's go. Let's go support our team. All right. Thank you, Austin.
Yes. Vamos Inter. Thank you.
Thank you.